She's like, I want Pinor, but I don't want the person attached to the Pinor. Like, help! I think she's cooked. Next video, we are going to be watching The Dadvocate. I've never reacted to them before. This one's called Explaining the Nose Ring Theory.
Hey again, guys. I've got a fun one for you today that I think you're gonna find interesting. Nose ring theory. And I just know that when I say that, half of you are gonna be confused and the other half of you somehow know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you've never heard of it before. I will explain everything I've learned about this theory, show you some examples, and then give you my 2 cents on this whole thing. So to take you on the journey that I went down to get here, I'll show you the video that I first saw that introduced me to this whole thing.
So I'm 24 years old, and I've been trying my hand at dating men specifically for probably about 5-6 years now, in a serious way. I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently, and I have probably dated about like 4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to like really get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking, you probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other, they're not friends, they're not from the same area, they don't.
So from your guys' perspective, how do you feel about girls with nose rings? Like, I'm going into this video blind, but before like we even like get into it, how do you feel about girls with nose rings? And why do you feel the way you do? It's very off-putting. I support it. 4 out of 10. Toxic. Explain that. Is it that they are like, it's an identifier of somebody who is toxic? Like, what is it? Nose rings are hot. Red flags. It's just a piercing, to each their own, neutral. I like most, but I don't like septums. Mental illness, it's just a piercing. Pass for me. My wife has one, it's cute. Depends, I don't really care. Yeah, so my sister, Candy, she has a nose ring. She has a septum piercing. I wanted to react to this mostly so that I could be like, to understand, is this something that could affect my sister's dating life and why, and that's basically why we're reacting to it. So I wanted to get your perspective as well. I know we're going to be posting this on YouTube as well. If you have an opinion about nose rings, are all nose rings are all nose rings bad, or are some of them cute? If so, which ones are cute and why? Which ones are bad and why? I'm curious. I want to know. So you can put that in the YouTube comments.
Look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these men have in common is that they are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what like the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended. One of the main issues that I've come to recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone, like love their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying this is all men, but I think it's just not normalized for them to like, I don't know, just like, I guess I don't know how to phrase it.
I don't know how I feel about that, because the thing is like, you can like somebody based on their appearance. I mean, I think dudes are they want visual appeal. Men really want like visual appeal. Women care about security, and they also care about like more like the emotional. I don't know if I agree with her. Like, I think that it's part of the visual aesthetic, the way that you present yourself. Not everyone is going to be attracted to the big titty goth, but like they're cute. That's not everybody's type. And it's okay if you disagree with me. It's okay if you think I'm wrong here. IDK ChaCha only cares about red flags. Okay, shut up. So what if I like guys with anger issues? That's besides the point, okay? A partner should not be considered a status symbol, and I agree. But, I think for a lot of dudes, they do care about having, just a visually attractive woman. They're very oonga boonga. I think guys are oonga boonga, like, oh, pretty girl, just like, pretty shiny rock is good rock. I keep rock. I think girls with nose rings are looked at kind of like how people look at guys with face tattoos. And that could, yeah, I think that could also be a factor.
I'm saying, for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life, I'm the most important person in their life, that they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay? I don't know about you, but when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I start calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me. Like, point blank, period. Otherwise, you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue and they get genuinely, offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means. And, I don't know how to get it across in a meaningful way to them. They just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. That is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them. Why is that considered love to you? I'm just I don't...
Unintentionally? I mean, if it was unintentional, then it was a mistake, and then you communicate that. Did I mishear her? It's almost like saying oh, this person's not allowed to be a human being if they love me.
I don't know where it's coming from. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but I can't handle it anymore, dude.
So in this video, this girl is describing her troubles with finding a good man. She insists that she doesn't have a type, that none of these men really have anything in common, but for some reason in the end, they always end up treating her horribly. And this led many in the comments to speculate that it must be something about her that is the common denominator. And unfortunately, since it's such a short TikTok video and we don't really get much—
I don't know, this is just me speculating. This is me just painting a picture. It could be that if the societal norm is that if you have a lot of tattoos, piercings, whatever, then you don't respect yourself. Well, if you don't respect yourself, then why would I respect you? And so it could be that she's inviting men into her life that naturally would disrespect her because her outward appearance is that she doesn't respect herself. I mean, it could also be her personality too. That could also be a factor. Maybe she, misinterprets what the guy's saying. There could be other factors too, but that could be one possibility. And it's not necessarily my opinion, but a societal opinion. So
much insight onto greater parts of her personality, and she's not very open about what her most major flaws are to figure out why she's attracting such mean men or why her relationships are always driven to turmoil. People began to theorize, because it's one of the most noticeable things about her, that it could potentially have to do with the amount of piercings she has. In fact, these two comments right next to each other say, the piercing theory is so true.
I don't know what the piercing theory is.
Likes. And again, don't know, don't care, nose ring theory with over 1,200 likes. So you might be wondering, like I did, what about having a bunch of metal in your face would cause someone to treat you poorly? I mean, sure, the style isn't everyone's type, but these men were clearly attracted enough to her to date her, so then what is it that's causing the relationships to not go well? So I decided to look into what these men were referencing when they talked about the piercing.
The nose ring theory is that someone makes their trauma their entire personality. Is that the nose ring theory? I don't know. We're going to find out.
Theory, or the nose ring theory. And this was the top video I found.
Have y'all ever heard of the septum piercing theory? If you have a septum piercing, you may not want to look it up, but I'm always the last person to hear about shit. So this is common knowledge. It's dead ass. It's actually dead ass. Because it says that every person that has a septum piercing makes their trauma their entire personality.
Wow.
And she agrees?
Wow, and she's agreeing with that. And she's laughing because it's true?
Like I said, dead ass.
Damn, straight.
So maybe is that what you guys were talking about when you said oh, it's toxic or it's associated with red flags because it's tied up with, people that outwardly express their trauma frequently? That's interesting. That's interesting. Do you get dehydrated a lot, need a drink that won't break the bank? Then you should get Gamersupps. They believe in traditional American values, like anime girl guys. It's caffeine-free and caffeinated in 2 kinds of tubs. Gamersupps improved my social life, and now I can stop seeing people in the mirror. Popular flavors include Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000, Sweet 6-Pack, Blowhole Blast, and Sploosh. Use discount ChaCha at checkout for 10% off. Stay hydrated, stay hydrated, stay hydrated.
From the horse's mouth, or maybe I should say straight from the bull's mouth, you know, because the
wow,
and if even
dang.
the person with the nose ring is saying it's true, I mean, there's got to be something there. And this is just even more hilarious when we take that theory and then reference back to the first video where the girl was making her relationship trauma her entire personality. Okay, that might have been a little reductive after.
I'll be honest, I also have, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I have a sister, Candy. She has a septum piercing. She doesn't make her trauma her whole personality though. She focuses in on family and her relationships with her friends. She really cares about her friendships. She probably cares way too much about her friendships. And also work, and she locks in with work and travel. She loves travel. I mean, if this is true, if this is like a generalized sort of statement with septum piercings, it could be that, you know, it turns guys off because of what she's talking about.
After all, it was just one video. Surely her entire profile isn't like that.
Yo, you guys never told me how cool it is to have a dad. Like, this is a secret that's been kept from me, okay? I grew up with 3 moms. My mommy issues are off the charts.
Okay, sure. I mean, so maybe she doesn't have a dad and has a ton of self-proclaimed mommy issues, but that doesn't mean trauma's her entire personality.
I have psoriasis. Not like a little psoriasis, like all over my entire body. When I tell you, my whole body looks like this.
Okay, so she has a bit of medical trauma too, but I mean, there's more to her.
Nothing normal can ever happen to me. I think I attract chaos.
Okay, so attracting chaos, it might be a...
She has a lot of problems, she has a lot of issues, and she chooses to look really negatively on her own life. And because she's putting out so much negative energy where she's blaming circumstances, blaming people, when you put out that much negativity, it's hard to draw in positivity, especially from other people, especially other positive people. Because when you're around someone who is constantly negative, they're draining. And I personally have had experiences with individuals that were just so negative that when I tried to, you know, be a positive influence in their life, they would take that energy and just suck it, just like energy vampires. And it feels draining. It is hard to want to give positivity in a space that is constantly negative. And then she expects the man in her life to magically fix all those things through love, no communication or work, and wonders why her relationships fail. Yeah.
A little red flag, but I mean, there's gotta be something normal here.
Not to be a man-hater or anything. Actually, no, fully to be a man-hater. Fully to be a man-hater.
Oh, okay, I guess she also just doesn't like men.
Okay, well, I think that might be our primary issue then. I think that might be our problem. She's like, I want penor, but I don't want the person attached to the penor. Like, help! I think she's cooked.
I mean, you could have brought that up when you were theorizing on why your relationships with men might be going poorly. I'm starting to connect the dots. Now, when I first started looking into nose ring theory, I didn't think that I would take it seriously at all. I thought it would just be a good laugh. But the more I looked into it, the more I think that it might actually hold some weight, because I did find quite a number of studies that have strong correlations between individuals with a lot of piercings and tattoos and how they are perceived and who they attract. This study seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos scored significantly higher than those without for sensation-seeking and risk-taking behaviors. This other study that I found seems to indicate that people with piercings piercings and tattoos, specifically women, scored significantly higher for extroversion and assertiveness, meaning they are more aggressive socially. This study that I found in Psychology Today examines how people with tattoos and piercings are perceived, and the most popular finding was that they are perceived to be more sexually promiscuous, and that they tend to attract people who are looking for more casual relationships than serious ones. And many other studies seem to point to people with piercings and tattoos having higher correlations with impulsivity and more experience with trauma and adversity. This study from BMC Psychology seemed to find a strong correlation between body modifications and people who experienced childhood abuse and neglect. And this one really stood out to me. This one found a notable prevalence of individuals with a high number of body modifications and borderline personality disorder. Now, this is not to say that individuals with piercings and tattoos are all degenerate problem children undeserving of love. I myself have a belly button piercing and an entire side piece, and I find myself to be pretty well adjusted and have had a lot of success in my relationships. But it does beg the question, could there be any legitimacy to the nose ring theory, or is it mostly just something that jerks shout at people they disagree with online when they happen to have a nose ring?
So, I mean, does this theory also apply? I don't have a nose ring, but does this theory also apply to because there are different positions of these nose rings that you can get. Like, I've seen girls with very feminine looking diamond studs on one side of the nose, and I think it's super cute. Is something like that in the same venue as something like a septum? Or, is it negated because it looks more feminine? I mean, I have earrings, I wear cute earrings. And I think that for a long time they've been single earrings, and I've seen really pretty pieces on the side where you can have like little diamonds on the side and the ear and stuff like that. And I think that looks really feminine too. So, I mean, what is it? What is it? I got cheated on by two different girls with nose rings, so my view on this is a little skewed. You have drama associated with this.
My ultimate conclusion? Probably both. Obviously, even with all of these studies and researchers, you're never going to be able to make a correct, sweeping blanket generalization about every one kind of person who looks a certain way. In the case of the first video we watched, where the girl is describing her issues with relationships with men, we know that people did at least initially find her very attractive, as she even cites at the end of the video that I cut off that both men and women have described completely falling in love with her. And when I first listened to her story, I wasn't even making any judgments about her physical appearance. I was truly waiting for the other shoe to drop of when she was going to describe some consistent patterns of behavior that might lead to all of this correlation. In her case, I definitely think that being a vocal man-hater was probably the linchpin in the disruption in her relationships with men, but certainly not all women with piercings and tattoos feel that way. In fact, here are some examples of super pierced and tattooed girls in very happy relationships with men.
She's cute! Look at that! He's got a type though. Oh, best cat dad ever! That's so adorable.
What is this?
Doing my pretty boyfriend's eyeliner. That's cute.
Also, it's so funny how they always go for the nerdy gamer guys. But
yes.
This is what makes the nose ring theory so complex, because if the first video were to be enough to prove that it's accurate, then all of these other videos should be enough to disprove it, right? At the end of the day, the nose ring theory is just that. A theory, an idea worth discussing.
Yeah.
Is it true that people with a lot of tattoos and piercings tend to be a bit more rebellious, chaotic, and traumatized? Yeah, probably, but does it make them inherently undateable? No. Some of them are. Some of them are absolutely undateable, but not all of them. As with most things, it's a case-by-case scenario, and it's always more important to pay attention to how a person behaves or what they believe in than it is to try and find secret clues in how they look or dress. Anyway, that has been my analysis on nose ring theory. If you liked my coverage, please drop a like on the video.
This is an interesting video to watch.
We are so close to the big 500,000, the big 500,000 subscribers, and drop any comments that you have on the subject down below, because that also helps boost me in the algorithm and grow my channel. And if you want even more from me than you can find here, consider joining my Patreon at patreon.com/thedadvocate for early access to my videos, exclusive content, and exclusive merch that you can't get anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the very end. I will catch you in the next one.
Very cool.